Hey there, YouTube. Just thought I'd come to you for a little impromptu Saturday afternoon chat. Nothing really serious to talk about today. Not really going to be a whole lot of discussion on the topic of food, but yeah, just chewing the fat a little bit with you today. And I'm just titling this "Still Figuring It Out: Costa Rica and Vegan Community." Yeah, if you want to go, if this is your first time, you're probably not going to be interested in this video, so I'm not even going to say go subscribe or whatever. And even the people that do watch me regularly may not be interested in this, but I just thought I'd make it. I'm sitting around on a Saturday afternoon, and I don't get like lots, but I just time, at least once a week, once every couple of weeks, somebody will ask me, well, number one, I'm not living in Costa Rica. I live in South Alabama. I've been living in South Alabama for the past 4 years. So it's always a little odd to me when people just write me and they're like, hey, I know you're in Costa Rica, so blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not in Costa Rica. And I'm like, if you've watched anything recent of my content, whether, YouTube or Instagram in the last 4 years, I'm not there. But anyhow, and also, too, the people that have watched me for a longer time or have heard me speak about Costa Rica keep asking me when I'm going back. So I just thought this would be a good video. I'll talk about a little bit more about my future plans if you even are remotely interested, and kind of talk to you about the Costa Rica thing and why I haven't made any moves so far and kind of where my thinking is on things. I'm still figuring it out. That's that's the best part. That's the best way I can say it. I'm still figuring it out. And the reason I'm still figuring it out, and I'm figuring it out between the United States and Costa Rica, is I've got a lot of stuff to figure out, and I don't have any parameters. So it's not like it's small choices. I am free right now. I don't own a place. I'm just renting month to month from an old friend of mine. And I can literally, I'm about as free as an adult can be, within the limitation of my finances. So, and one thing too, so I'm just trying to figure out a number of things. Here's a number of things I'm trying to figure out. If you've heard me talk about it before, I'm still driving my late mother's 1994 Grand Marquis. Been kind of loosely keeping an eye out for a car the last 6 months, and if I found something I like today, I'd buy it. There just haven't been that many used automobiles in exactly what I'm looking for. Then also, too, coming into my thinking, I've got it down to several things that I've been looking at, but do I want a truck? Because I've also been dabbling with the idea for longer, for the future, possibly getting a travel trailer or something to tow to live in like that. So I would need a truck, just buying a car. Like I've been looking at some Hyundai Santa Fe's. I've been looking at Subaru Outbacks. They're not really suitable for towing. But then again, also too, I really don't want a pickup because number one, pickups are really crazy expensive these days. They don't get as good a gas mileage. And even if I do buy a travel trailer, I'm looking more to buy a travel trailer and put it somewhere and live in. I'm not talking about going, all over, like driving all the time. I'm not a big driver. I don't like to drive. But I just think, a travel trailer, something like that. There's a lot of different things I'm pondering over. I'm still trying to go through my old memory bank and see if I've got old friends. I have to figure out the United States portion of this thing first because I don't have residency in Costa Rica, never did. I was what they call a perpetual tourist. It's absolutely legal, absolutely above board, but I would just leave the country every 3 months. That's not really financially feasible for me. Right now. Now that could change over the next couple of years, but right now I'm like leaning towards thinking like maybe being in the United States 4 to 5 months out of the year, and the other 6 to 7 months out of the year be say in Costa Rica, and traveling and going somewhere else. But like I say, I've just kind of got to work the big logistics back. I don't have people up here. I don't, when my mom passed away, I didn't have brothers and sisters. I've never been married. I don't have kids. I don't have aunts and uncles. I do have cousins, but scattered all over the place. But it's not like, nuclear family. So I don't really have people, and I've been away from the States for so long. So I'm trying to just kind of like, float ideas out there, put feelers out to people. I'm dabbling with a lot of different ideas. Like I say, Maybe I know somebody, or maybe I'll find somebody in the not too distant future that's got a property, that's got a bigger property that wouldn't have a problem. And I don't want to interfere. I don't want to mooch off of them. But if they've got a big enough property, maybe they don't mind. Maybe they're in the right situation where I could park a travel trailer there, hook up to electricity, and pay all my own stuff, pay all my own expenses, all my own cable. I mean, all my own internet, whatever. Um, Also, too, and this could be in a number of different places here in the country, is buying a very economical. I'm not talking about something fancy, but just a small piece of land and just planting a travel trailer, little camper on there. Maybe building a structure over it with a little porch, what have you, or building a tiny home. Now, if I did a tiny home, I could potentially buy something in this area. My roommate is really good with building stuff. Like, he's got a workshop, totally tricked out workshop, so he could probably build stuff. But these are just the things, like I say, that I'm figuring out. Just kind of talking to my head. And like I say, when there's an infinite amount of possibilities, it's a lot harder to make a decision than when you just have like three or four things to choose from. I will say I would like some vegan community where I go. And when I say vegan community, I'm talking more of a loose knit type thing. I've kind of learned over the 9 years of doing this that just because we're raw vegans doesn't mean we're compatible to live together or spend a lot of time together. In fact, I tend to resonate a lot more times with just the regular vegans, not the raw vegans, because I have interest. I always find like on my raw vegan crowd, they're so, sorry, I'm poking a little bit, but a little woo-wooey, like, oh, I don't watch sports, I don't do this, I don't do that. They're almost like Puritans from the 1700s. I watch football, I watch basketball, I watch the news. Oh, I know that's horrible. People are always like, don't watch the news. My brain filters stuff out. My brain's not troubled by things, like it's just entertained and it takes things in. And then, just like I say, people are so combative these days. That would be my nightmare, is to get into any situation where there was combativeness, or just like in a situation where I didn't enjoy living. Like, I just want things to be easy. So I think I'm looking more for loose vegan community, but I would like, wherever I end up, to be around where I can be around vegan people. Maybe share food with people, what have you. But like I say, just figuring it out. Going to start putting some feelers out, reaching out to some people I haven't talked to in a while, reaching out to other people. And then when I figure the U.S. part of it out, in other words, am I going to just have a travel trailer and a strong truck and then, do it like that, maybe be somewhere different during the time when I'm in the States, but I would still need somewhere where I could park it, whatever. Am I going to buy a place? And then when I figure that out, I can start kind of setting up my life in Costa Rica for those 6 to 7 months. Which I've got connections down there. I think that's something that would be relatively easy to do. Probably won't go back to the beach. Probably the first place I'll go back to in Costa Rica is not where anybody is going to go for a first vacation. It's just for me, because I've got people there. I've got two of my best friends in Costa Rica that live there, and it's a little town called Atenas. It's in the mountains. Climate's very nice. There's cool nights. It's not as hot all the time as living at the beach. It's warm during the day. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're in Costa Rica, so it's hot, and there's a lot of times during the year it can be a little bit warm at night. But most of the year it's very temperate at night. It's closer to San Jose, the capital, than it is to the beach. It's closer to that little market where I was in Alajuela 4 or 5 years ago. So that'll be where I go back to initially. And just kind of like, and with Costa Rica, when, God willing, if something doesn't happen sometime in 2022, I will go down there. Hopefully earlier in 2022, hopefully in the first half of 2022, because that's part of it too. If I'm going to be in this part of the country for a while, which is South Alabama, as south as you can get in Alabama, I'm almost on the beach. I don't want to be here in the summer times. The summers are like from from June to September is just brutal. It's just nasty. I don't want to be here. So I'm thinking like bounce, definitely be in Costa Rica during those months, and maybe be here when the weather's nice, like November, December, January, February, March, maybe a part of October, and kind of mix it up like that. But yeah, I mean, in some ways it's overwhelming at times because, like I say, a lot of decisions to make. I haven't made decisions in a lot of years. I'm not really an adult. I'm not a responsible decision making adult. So, I've got to decide on buying automobile. I've got to decide on where to live, what to live. Another possibility, like I said too, another possibility is buying a piece of land. If I could buy myself a piece of land and construct myself a little tiny home, a little cabin, or a piece of land and have a comfortable little travel trailer to live in for, say, and I know this is low, but think about it, the structure's not going to be that expensive. If I could have something for, say, 30,000, possibly 40,000, that was a base that I really liked, I could see doing something like that. But and then again, even though I just said I hate to, I don't like to drive all that much. If I, depending on if I just started networking with people, I could go on the road and just do vegan videos from the road. Just do different. It would definitely spice up my videos here. It would spice up my social media content. Not by being in one little boring place all the time. Maybe go meet people that I know on Instagram or that know me. Maybe go, just interact with people. Visit this city. Go to a fruit luck in somebody else's city. I don't know. Like I say, the possibilities are endless, but I do need to get back to the tropics. Every time I see something that reminds me of home, every time somebody sends me an old photo, every time one of my friends from back there sends me a message, I feel it, man. I want to go back so bad, but there's no need to rush it. But if I don't have things figured out by, say, like April or May, but I may not have everything figured out, but I'll have a much clearer picture. I'm going down there. Once, like anything's fair game, once the season is over, and the season in Costa Rica is generally, the high season is generally from Christmas to a little bit after Easter. I usually like to give it a month after Easter, but like maybe by April or so, I'm going to have to make, April or May, I'm going to have to make my way down there for however long it could be. It'll probably be 3 months. The first trip down will probably be a 3 month type thing. Who knows? Maybe I'll jump the border one time, do a little border run, and then come back for 3 more. But that's it. Like I say, right now there's just so many things up in the air in my life. It's exciting and it's a little bit overwhelming at the same time. I'm going to get this dental stuff out of the way. I've got an appointment on Monday. I'm not going to go into that again. I talked about that in a recent video. I was having problems with a couple of teeth, and from my years of drunkenness when I didn't take care of my teeth. I haven't taken care of my teeth my whole life. I'm almost ashamed to say that. Other than being hygienic. Unless people, like, I've never had people repelled away from me back in the day because I always, made sure to brush my teeth. But like I said, I was more hygienic with my tooth care. I just brushed so I didn't have bad breath and got the stuff off my teeth. But yeah, my teeth are a wreck. And that's another reason I need to get back to Costa Rica, because after I find out how much stuff I need to get done, dental work is much cheaper in Costa Rica, and it's quality. It's not like you're going to some country where you're worried about your work. But anyhow, I'm just starting to ramble now. But for anybody that always is asking about my, kind of my day to day or wonders about things, there it is. Anyhow, y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Peace.